What about, Newcastle do the biz. City hold on but lose Aguero. Now, surely title odds for Chelsea must come in a bit.
Yeah, amazing. Incredible, actually. Just in the space of a couple of weeks, they were 8-1 on Chelsea. People literally were almost saying, look, it's all over by the shouting. I'm not even sure if a couple of bookies may not have even paid out on Chelsea as a bit of a publicity stunt. Well, they'll be sweating now because it's 2-1 on Chelsea.
Wow,
after that defeat.
from 8-1 to 2-1
on. That's right. Manchester City, I think it got to as big as about 5-1, 9-2. They're now down to 2-1. This is a genuine two-horse race. Yeah,
Hello.
Backers of Man City might be feeling a little bit more happy
at 5-2.
Exactly. You've seen them go out to a bigger price, but suddenly they're starting to realise your hopes. And listen, it's getting close. It's 1-2 Chelsea, 2-1 Manchester City. Just interestingly, I'm sort of surprised, but then 14-1 Manchester United. This is a side who a few weeks ago again were written off 80-1. They were odds against.
They're not going to win it.
Well, okay. But all I'm saying is, in terms of their relative resurgence, they were odds against to finish in the top four.
Wow.
At one stage, and now they're 3-1 on. They're eventually the third favourites to get that top four finish behind Chelsea, Manchester City.
What about Champions League then? Give us the top four. Okay, forget City.
Yeah, and
forget Chelsea. Who's the other two?
Right. So here we go. So then it's 3-1 on Manchester United. So they really are now bang back in pole position. I mean, so again, slightly surprisingly after their abject performance the weekend, 4-7 Arsenal still odds on. It's then 11-4 Southampton. Obviously play tonight. 11-4 Liverpool, again, still struggling, and 8-1 Spurs. And against
when you say 3-1 United, you mean 3-1 on?
3-1 on, absolutely. Sorry.
What about West Ham?
West Ham are 12-1. I mean, I was 16-1. I think I've got the price here somewhere. But I mean, they're a much bigger price again. Because are they going to sustain this extraordinary run? But again, West Ham are about 6-1 to be relegated at the start of the season. So a brilliant performance by Allardyce. And I should just point out, I mean, it's funny, it's a market which is the least popular market by far with Premier League managers, but this next manager out market has another favourite now. Nigel Pearson is down to even money with Coral, odds on in a play, so yet another favourite to be the next manager out. But what he can take some comfort that every other of the favourites are now much bigger prices and comfortable in their jobs. So as long as Leicester keep the faith with Nigel, I'm sure his odds will drift again. But I mean, we're still waiting, and amazingly, really, when you think we're into December, they're still waiting for the first Premier League manager to leave his job, and that's a good news, isn't it? But I mean, it's fascinating.
What about tonight's game? Southampton, I was talking earlier, Simon. Horrendous run of games coming up, and they'll be looking for 3 points tonight.
They will. I mean, I think they've been doing brilliantly under Ronald Koeman. They shed all those stars during the summer. Everyone thought they were, again, potentially relegation fodder, and they've been brilliant. But everyone always said, wait till they play the big sides. Well, this is the period they're doing that, and they're 7-4 tonight. At 17-10 Manchester United, not the best time to face them. They're bang back in form. 23-10 the draw. So very tight betting. Still full of respect for Southampton, who actually play well against Arsenal and actually play well against City. But can they end this tough period maybe with a win or at least a draw to sustain that top four challenge? Because they are still outside of Manchester United and Arsenal in that top four betting. It's then them and Liverpool at 11-4. So they're still there. They're still there fighting.
What about the Arsenal then? What's going on there, Simon?
Do you know what? I mean, I think you can see it on social media. There's an awful lot of Arsenal fans out there, including a very high-profile one, Piers Morgan, who year in, year out have been bemoaning Wenger and the same old, and it does feel a bit same old again, doesn't it? There's more injury problems, and what do you think, Danny? I mean, is anything going to change?
Well, I don't think he'll walk.
No.
He's too stubborn for that. But I think at the end of the season, it depends, doesn't it, on how the Champions League goes for them.
Yes.
Because they're not going to win the Premier League now. If they finish in the top four and get to maybe the quarters or the semis of the Champions League, then I suppose
that's what they do every year, and that'll be enough, probably.
That's what I'm saying. But he has to fall below his normal standards, doesn't he?
They kind of. I mean, the line I'm always told whenever usually aimed at some criticism of my job is, the first sign of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting anything to change. And I think that's probably what most Arsenal fans who are critics of Wenger now feel. There's no reason to believe anything's going to change the way he keeps operating that same way. And I can sort of share that a bit, but. The other thing I'd say, Danny, and you've played under many managers, the most dangerous thing to happen is to get rid of a manager, because you never quite know who the next guy is going to be, do you? So,
well, that's actually a good question. I was going to say to Al earlier, were all these fans discontent Arsenal should go? I mean, who can come in? I mean, I think the standout candidate at the moment...
Klopp?
No, the standout candidate is Simeone.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks... What he's done at Atletico Madrid is nothing short of remarkable.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I like Klopp, me. Speaks good English.
They're bottom of the league,
Smiles,
though.
Yeah, I know, but he needs a change.
He's
Still
a character.
in the Champions League, aren't they? And they're not bottom anyway. They're near the bottom.
Near the bottom.
Well,